Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this latest edition of Free Teen Fuss, where I take old stories I've narrated and update them to modern audio standards. This particular story is called Elite Training, written by LgFatherAnthrocite. Breck was calm. He had trained for numerous rotations with the regular army, and having proved adept at field operations, had been kicked over to special forces for additional training. After nearly half a cycle, he and his squad were about to embark on their final training mission. He was currently in a shuttle, descending from a transport ship into orbit to the surface of a Class 9 Deathworld. Breck and his squad were prepared to spend an entire 10th cycle on the planet's surface. Being a Class 9, the only thing the planet lacked in terms of danger were oversized apex predators. The army had inoculated the entire special forces as part of training, so the dangerous microfauna should not prove too inconvenient, but the plants and some of the large animals could prove problematic. The shuttle set down on the edge of a wooded area. The team quickly grabbed their gear and headed down the ramp of the shuttle and rallied off to one side, while the equipment specialists offloaded the specialized gear that they would need. Once unloaded, the shuttle dusted off and Breck and his squad were alone. Terp, the squad leader, barked orders and everyone started moving. Logistics took readings both manually and from the orbital ship's sensors, and plotted a course to the bivouac area they had plotted out before dropping. Comms set up the beacon so that both the team and shuttle could relocate to the drop zone for retrieval. The scouts got direction and ranges from logistics and started to trailblaze through the woods. The main squad would follow shortly. Breck and Dern, both medics, geared up and waited for the main force to get the go sign from Terp. Once the beacon was set and the equipment was distributed and loaded, Terp gave a quick yip and gestured for the troop to march. They moved without talking, walking as silently as possible as they headed to the bivouac area. Their site was near a river that ran through the forest. After about a quarter rotation, Terp yipped again, and when everyone looked, he gave the signal to stop and take cover. One of the scouts appeared out of the brush and spoke with Terp. After a few moments, Terp tapped the scout's shoulder to signal understanding. He yipped again, followed by a signal to change course. Apparently, the scouts had found something dangerous enough to reroute the team. After a half rotation and 2 additional reroutes, the team finally arrived at the bivouac. With minimal dialogue, the camp was set up. The equipment was deployed and activated. When everyone was done, everyone but the patrol detail sat around a small, solid fuel stove and heated their meal packs. Once they were done eating, most went to their tents except the next patrol shift, who relieved those who had yet to eat. A quarter of a rotation before dawn, Breck was awoken with his teammate Frez, and they did the last patrol before everyone would wake for the day. About halfway through his patrol around the perimeter, he noticed a predator skulking around the edge of the woods. He released the safety on his rifle, taking aim down the sight, and then flashed his light on the animal. It immediately started, surprised at the sudden illumination, then ran off into the woods. Nothing else happened until everyone was woken for the day. After a quick meal, the squad broke up and started the various tasks of the mission. Breck and Dern would trade off going out on patrol and staying at camp, each caring for the various small injuries that were common on such missions. Breck was at camp when the patrol returned early. Breck ran over to make sure there was no medical emergency, and when it was clear that no one was hurt, he moved aside so the patrol could report. The patrol had found signs of a campsite about 5 grills upriver, near the second bivouac site. This threw the serious wrench into the mission plan. If there was indigenous people around, the scope of the mission was going to change drastically. The planet had been scouted, but no larger animals had been detected. If they had been missed, this would become a stealth mission. After several more days, numerous campsites were found along the river, but they were all fairly old. Terp was of the opinion another armed force was using the planet as a place to train, but kept the teams going out on patrol in stealth mode, just in case. Breck didn't really care, as he enjoyed the extra training in stealth maneuvers. The injuries to this point had only been minor cuts and abrasions. The only notable exception had been one squad member who broke out in a serious rash after passing through a plant that exuded an irritating oil through its leaves. There were also a couple of troopers who were dealing with some sort of gut bug that kept them bound to the camp. There had been several engagements with some dangerous animals, and the third night had some Category 5 lightning/thunderstorms, but other than that, the mission went smoothly. 2 days before the mission was to end, comms got a message from the ship in orbit. Another ship had been detected, and a drop shuttle was headed down to the surface near the drop zone Breck's team had used. Terp sent a team to the drop zone to observe the new arrivals. Breck and the rest of his squad spent the rest of the day packing up the bivouac and getting ready to bug out. After half a cycle, the observation squad called in via encrypted signal and reported that the new arrivals were also heading into the woods. They were a group of 5 humans with minimal gear. Terp told the patrol to follow the newcomers and report back when they had a bearing on their destination. Breck and the rest of the team at the base camp waited for the all clear to head out to the drop zone for extraction. If another force was operational in the same area and they were discovered, this training mission was a potential political disaster. After the scouts reported the newcomers were clear of the area between the bivouac and the drop zone, Breck and the team started towards the beacon. As they arrived at the drop zone and the shuttle began its descent, the observers reported that the humans were setting up camp in one of the old sites that had been discovered. Terp told the observers to stay for another few minutes, then head back to the drop zone. The observers confirmed, then went comm silent. About 5 minutes before the shuttle arrived, the observers rendezvoused with the squad. Breck was helping organize the equipment nearby when the observers reported in to Terp. He could barely believe what he heard. After they arrived at one of the old campsites we had found, they set up their tents and built a fire. We were using an auto-translation mic when we heard one of them say they had come here last rotation. Apparently, this entire planet is a nature preserve for humans. They said it was one of their favorite places to vacation. End of story. I'd quickly like to thank the T5 peeps: Cold War Boomerwaffen, Severin Cerberus, Bushmaster 177, Henry the Red, Caspar Arnholtz, Cold War Boomerwaffen, Elijah Silvercross, Dragzoon WRE, and Severin Cerberus. Thank you very much.